Hey girl, I'm so excited to go live today because I want to talk about something really personal that changed my life in ways that I never expected. And it's lashes. Lashes. Yep. Lashes. Not just lashes themselves. And I don't want to just talk about lashes themselves, but I want to talk about the journey that has opened up this path for me. Sorry, I couldn't think of like whether to say this path or this experience. And I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm honestly just here to share my real story. I know a lot of times people are like, all you do is talk about how everyone should learn lashes. But I honestly, in today's live, I'm not here to convince you. I just want to share my real story of how lashes completely changed my life and really just took me on this unexpected journey that I really did not see for myself. So, because if it wasn't for lashes, I honestly wouldn't have the confidence, the freedom, the community that I have today. So, if you're someone who's stuck on the fence or you're, you're maybe just like you're like, oh, I want to, but I don't want to. You're just kind of teeter tottering and kind of just stuck in between. Then maybe my story can help you. And I'm sorry, I'm also live on YouTube as well too, so that's why you're going to see me going back and forth because I want to make sure that I have good angles on both cameras. So I tried to do it where I actually. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe that's a little bit better, so that way I'm not looking constantly in different angles. Yeah, but if you're someone who is on the fence, maybe my story will help you, will kind of help you take either the next step or maybe fall back. I always tell girls lashes isn't for everyone. Um, it's just the plain truth. When it comes to learning the lashes, running the business, doing all the things that it requires, lashes is not always for everyone. So, like I said, I'm not here to convince anyone. I'm just here to share my real story of how lashes changed my life. And like I said, if you are someone who's been kind of on the fence, maybe my story will help you decide whether you need to take the next step or whether you need to find something else. Okay, that's honest truth. Like I said, lashes is not for everyone. Okay, so yeah, just want to share my story with you guys. If you have comments or questions, or even if you're watching this live, maybe you're not on the actual live right, maybe you're not on the in real time live right now, but you watch the live and then later you have questions or you want to ask me something, please slide in my DMs. I'm always open. Leave a comment, slide in my DMs. I'm always open to helping out my girls, and I love hearing your story of how you got there, maybe why you're thinking about starting lashes, why you're thinking about launching your lash business, going into this journey. So if that's you, go ahead, slide up in my comments or slide in my DMs. I promise I will help. That's one thing before I even start talking about my story that I have experienced, and I think a lot of lash artists actually experience this as well too, is feeling afraid to message and reach out for help, because a lot of times, especially we're in the beauty industry, a lot of times you can get left on red. People won't message you back, and then you'll kind of feel like dumb. You kind of feel like, oh my god, maybe I shouldn't. And then that stops you. Whenever you find someone who's actually willing to help, actually wants to answer questions, that stops a lot of girls from actually even asking those questions or reaching out for help, because they're like, well, I've reached out for help and people are just kind of rude. And that is true. There is rude people out there. There is rude beauty providers and even rude educational people. There is. I have experienced it. So just know that if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I want to ask a question or I want to ask a comment, but I'm kind of afraid, don't be afraid, girl. Asking questions, leaving comments, DMing people, even if you get left on red, if someone leaves you on red, that's their problem. You reached out, you asked for help, and that does not reflect poorly on you. That reflects poorly on the person that you reached out and asked for help for. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna dive in with the story. And like I said, I just want to share with you how lashes really changed my life. So I want to share with you before I started lashes, how I discovered lashes, talk about what lashes allowed me to do, and that's pretty much it. So that's what we're going to go through. And at the end, if anyone is on and you have questions or comments, I will do a live Q&A. So feel free to ask any questions, anything, no worries. All right. So before I started lashes, I was in college full time. Full time. Like, no one told me not to do that. I was in college for like, oh my gosh, like full time, Monday through Friday, doing college. I was doing prerequisites for nursing school. I used to believe that becoming a nurse, was the only way that I could have success in my life. I thought nursing was the whole answer. I even, when you start to pick a career, or whenever, even if you go to college for something, you start to play in your mind the outcome that you're going to get with that. So I was going to school for nursing, and I kept seeing myself in the scrubs and checking people's blood pressure, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go and be this nurse, and my life's going to just be so perfect. I'm going to have a Mercedes, and I'm going to look so cute in my scrubs, and I'm going to be that nurse. Like, that was what I saw for myself. So that's what I was focused on. That's what I was aiming for. I was going to college. I was doing prerequisites to even get into nursing school. Attending college full time, Monday through Friday. And then I was working a bunch of just regular jobs, because no one really told me when you move out of your house, when you move out of your parents' house, that you got bills you got to pay. Okay, you have to pay your bills. And so I was constantly tired. I was so drained. I was so exhausted. And kept, just going like this for 4 years. 4 years of school, and 4 years of college, and 4 years of just job after job. I was trying to do almost every job I could think of. I've done it. So I was in the food service industry. I did hostess. Went to work at the mall. I went and tried to, I honestly did at one point try to go into even the nightlife, like the club life, because I was like, if I go be a shot girl, or if I maybe go and bartend like at an actual club, maybe I'll make more money that way. But the thing is I'm, Latina girl, been with my partner for about a year and a half at this point. And so my man was like, girl, no, you ain't going to no club. You got me crazy messed up. I even went to the interview, and he took me to the interview, and I remember when I came out, he was like, what happened? And I was like, I got the job. He was like, of course you did. He's all, of course you did. I was like, yeah, I got the job. And he was like, you ain't going in there. He's like, that's what you're not going to do. And that's why I told him, because he was like, and what's the uniform? I was like, he said it's like booty shorts. And so I had got to that point in my life where I was like, you know what, maybe if I just go into the nightlife, I'll be able to make more money, and then I'll be able to kind of like focus more on school, and then just not have to worry about it. And also too, I had heard that when you're in nursing school, they actually tell you not to have a job. And I was like, how in the world do they, like, what do they think? Like, do they just expect like my parents to take care of me, or they expect like my boyfriend to take care of me? Like, what in the world is college thinking by telling you not to have a job while you're in school? And so I had worked all the jobs while I was in school. I was at jobs, girl. And when you go work a job, you're there for anywhere between, like, hardly ever do you find places where it's like 4 hour shifts. You're always working 5 hours plus, 7 hours plus, 8 hours plus, 10 hours plus at shifts. And then they expect you to go and spend the rest of your time studying, the rest of your 4 hours studying. Not to mention, I'm 17, 18 at the time. So, girl, the last thing that's on my mind is studying and trying to focus on really getting through college. as soon as I got out of work, I was aired out. I wanted to take a shower. I wanted to eat some food, and I wanted to lay down and take a nap. The last thing I wanted to do was open up my textbook and dive in and start studying for all of this classwork and start doing all this homework. So, needless to say, college was not for me. And I did school. Like, I went through all of school, never had no problems, showed up all the whole time, all through school. College was nothing like high school. College was just a whole different ball field. Honestly, it was. And then they are like, the teachers in college are like, we're not going to baby you. We're not going to, like, if you get your work done, great. If you don't, great. Like, no one cared. No one cared at all. So college definitely was not for me. And me working all these jobs, it just left me feeling drained, exhausted. And I just felt like I was meant for so much more. But yet I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what more looked like. A lot of times I would try to tell myself, like, you're fine, it's going to be okay, you're going to work your butt off right now, but in the end, you're going to have that nursing degree, and you're going to have that Mercedes, and you're going to be making all this money, and it's going to be okay. And so that's kind of what pulled me through for the first like 4 years was. And I think that's what a lot of girls do as well too, is they put this thought in their head of, I'm going to go and be this nurse. And like, they hold on to the outcome of what they're going to get, and they don't really care about what it's going to take to get there, or even just having to put up with all the BS pretty much until you get that nursing degree. So and that's what it was for me. Like, once I got, like, even I think I didn't start asking myself the question until I was like 2 years into school, where I was like, okay, is this what you really want? Do you really want to do this? Do you really want to be a nurse? Because I think so many people, and now seeing it and seeing how the nursing industry is, and also a lot of my clients are nurses as well too. um, so many people are going just to say they went. They're going just for the degree. Like, so many people don't even like being a nurse. And it took me a couple of years, actually, while I was in school, before I started asking myself the question of, do I really want to do this? Like, my thing, and I think and I know this is what most other girls think as well too, because I've had a lot of conversations with girls, and they're like, well, I want to go be a nurse because my family wants me to do it, and because they're gonna like respect me more, or they're gonna think more highly of me. I know that's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to be a nurse because I was like, if I go to school and I get this degree and I work my butt off, I'm gonna feel smart. It's gonna show that I'm smart. It's gonna show that I had the determination to finish college and get this nursing degree. Like, it was more so about how people were going to look at me and how I was going to feel about myself, more than the actual nursing itself. Like, and I think that's crazy, because I do believe that a lot of girls go into school, especially nursing school, just to say they did it, and just to actually, like, that's why I was in college too, because I wanted to have the college girl aesthetic. I wanted to look like I had it. I got it. Like, I'm doing it. I look good doing it. And girl, I was so miserable. I hated every single day of my life whenever I was in college. Whenever I was working all these jobs, I hated it so much. I hated everything about it. All I would do was complain. That's all I did the whole time. Now I make it a point as a lash artist where, like, if I do complain, it's because I like kind of maybe woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and then even I'll like text my man and be like, I have nothing to complain about. Like, I'm in my own private lash space. I have my private clientele. I got me a coffee. I'm listening to music. I got to wear what I wanted to work. All of my clients bring in good vibes. Like, I have nothing to complain about. But back then, before I started lashes, I was complaining. I was complaining every single day because I hated the job. I hated college, and it just was not for me. I was trying to make something work because it's what society wants. It's what my parents wanted. My mom wanted me to go be a nurse. My parents wanted me to go be a nurse. And, I grew up in a pretty pretty good household where, my parents went to work every single day, never complained. They gave me and my brother and sister a really comfortable life. So I never, I was like, okay, I have to do the same thing. Like, I have to do the same thing my parents did, which was, well, my dad, my mom didn't go to college, but she still had a job and she still was comfortable in her life. So, but my parents told me, go to college, you get your degree, and then you go and get the job and you work at the job. And then you just like move up at the job. And so that's what I saw my parents do, and that's what I wanted to do. So, when society is telling you, when your parents are telling you to do these things, it's like, okay, I have to really do it. So there was kind of no question in my mind of like, oh, I'm going to quit this if this doesn't work, if this doesn't feel good, I'm not going to do that. Like, I was like, oh no, I have to. Like, it doesn't matter what I feel like, because my parents want me to do this. And so I hear that from so many girls as well too. My parents want me to go to nursing school. And especially in the Latino Hispanic community, nursing school, becoming a nurse is like the highest thing that we could do. It's like the most, like, ask anyone, or if you were, Hispanic, Latino, as well too, that's like the highest, best thing you could do. And if you drop out of school or you don't finish it and you go do something else, oh my goodness, you are wasting your time, you're wasting your life, and you're wasting your time, wasting your life. Sorry, I was reading a text message. You're wasting your time and wasting your life, and nothing's going to work out for you. Like, that's literally what they tell you in the community. So I knew I wanted more. I was working at Eskimo Hut at the time, and it was like this little daiquiri place where you could um I was working at Eskimo Hut at the time. Sorry, I'm reading a text message from a client right now. I was working at Eskimo Hut at the time, and I had so much time to stand there and really think about my life. And that's really what I was doing. I'm all sorry, y'all. Let me hop off real quick because okay. Sorry. Had to respond to a text message really quickly. Okay. So I was working at Eskimo Hut at the time, and I had so much time to stand there, because who in the world is getting a daiquiri at like 11 o'clock in the morning? I would be so confused about our hours sometimes. But I was standing there, had a bunch of time to thinking constantly. And I just remember telling myself, like, man, this isn't enough. This $10 an hour isn't enough. I'm meant for so much more. I'm wasting my life here. I'm wasting my time here. And I don't know what direction to go towards. Like, I wasn't looking up anything that, like, I wasn't even on like a money mindset or how I could make more or what I could do to make more. Even though I had a partner who was full entrepreneur mode, I never stopped and asked myself, like, and my partner would tell me too. He would tell me, "What do you want?" And I always think of the scene on on what's that movie called? He's all, "What do you want?" She's all, "It's not that simple. It's not that simple." The Notebook. Whenever he's asking her, "What do you want?" She's like, "It's not that simple. It's not that simple." That's how I felt when my man was asking me, like, "What do you want? What kind of day do you want? What kind of life do you want?" Like, no one had ever asked me that question. Ever. Here I am, 20 years old, fixing to be 21, fixing to be legal to drink and actually have an alcoholic drink. And no one's ever asked me, what do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want your day to look like? So because I was sitting there at that job, I was like, man, I've spent like the past 3 years in college. I'm so done, so irritated. I'm not getting any of the results I want. And I just feel so stuck. I just feel so bad. Like, and it felt too like everyone else around me was going towards their dreams, was going towards the things that they wanted for themselves. And I just couldn't, I couldn't figure it out, honestly. And so this is what I tell my girls not to do. I was like, if I have a backup plan, if I have a plan B, I won't go towards something that's going to scare me. So, what did I do? I left my job, just quit my job, just up and quit one day. And I also dropped out of college. Just dropped out, girl. I just said, F it, I'm done. I'm not doing it no more. No, mm-mm. Nope, not doing it. And so, um, because I wanted to be pushed. I wanted to be pushed and I wanted to not have a plan B. I wanted to not have a backup plan. Now, of course, with my students who come in and learn lashes from me, they always tell me, when should I quit my job? And I always tell them, not until you are um not until you can actually like have consistent clients, not until you know how to get clients in consistently, then you can leave the jobs. Because my butt went and left my job just like nothing, and it actually was a chill job. Like I could have built my whole lash business being there, and it would have been a great place because there's a lot of girls that were coming in to buy drinks and stuff, and it would have been a good place to stay at and continue launching my lash business. But I knew that if I had a plan B, if I had a backup plan, that I wasn't going to be like forced to actually go into something and put my whole effort and my whole energy into it. So I was like, okay, this is, and I didn't even know that I was going to do lashes. All right. So, how I discovered lashes, well, first of all, I've gotten lashes done since I was 15. I've had my lashes done since I was 15. And it never occurred to me, like, hey, you should do lashes. It never occurred to me like that because I just didn't think that way. And no one told me anything either. Like, it wasn't until I started going and asking, that's whenever people were like, oh, here, we'll try this or try this. But if you're not asking the question, or if you're not thinking that way, like, no one's really going to tell you. That's why I'm constantly, through my content, through my stories, I'm like, girl, do lashes, learn lashes, do lashes, do lashes, because lashes help me, lashes change this, lashes allowed me to do this. Like, no one told me. I had to go and ask and figure it out all on my own. But I was getting my lashes done since I was 15 years old. So I liked lashes. I've loved lashes. I loved the confidence that lashes gave me. I loved how lashes made me feel. I loved how I didn't have to wear my makeup with lashes because I wasn't a makeup girl. I could not do my makeup for the love of my life. And I was around, I could not do my makeup. And all of my friends were always makeup girls. They could do makeup so easily and they just look so good. That was not me. But I've had my lashes done since I was 15. And like I said, it wasn't until I went and asked someone, can you help me? Can you show me something with the beauty industry? So I did graduate from Lubbock High in 2014 with my cosmetology license. But girl, school doesn't show you nothing. Cosmetology school, esthetician school, it is just school. You're going to get your hours and you're going to get your license. That is it. You are lucky if you leave with an interest in a skill that you want to further. But for the most part, everyone leaves beauty school so confused and so lost because that's all it is beauty school. You're just going to get the license and get the hours. Anything else that you want to further or you want to focus on, you have to really take the time to learn it and deep dive into it. But if not, then this is why most girls don't get their license, why most girls don't go do their exams. They don't even go test because they don't even have confidence to pass their exams. Like, I failed my cosmetology exam like 5 times, and I legit remember my mom telling me on the 4th time, she was like, you should just give up. She was like, just give up. Like, you should just not do it. I was like, no, I'm going to do it. I spent 1,500 hours completing school so that way I could get this license. Like, it doesn't matter how many times I fail this test. I'm going to pass so I could get my license. But my mom was legit telling me, like, you should just give up. Just don't even do it anymore. And I was like, nope, I don't care how many times I have to pay for this test. I'm going to do it. So I went to, there was a family salon. They had maybe been in business 2 years on their own. They had been working in someone else's salon for like almost 20 years. So they finally had their own salon. I went to them, I asked them, hey, can you show me how to do something with my license? Like, I have a license, but I don't know what to do. And one of my aunts suggested hair, cutting hair, coloring hair, hairstyling. I was like, absolutely not. Nope. I know how picky I am with my hair. Hair is so special to people. I know how special hair is because hair is special to me. I do not want to be in trouble for cutting someone's hair wrong, for dyeing their hair wrong, for no, I'm not doing that. But my other aunt, the one, she had been doing my lashes since I was 15. And while I was in my chair getting the lashes done, like I said, I knew the lashes gave me so much confidence, but I never once thought that I would be on the other side doing the lashes. So I never thought to ask her, honestly. But when I had went and asked them that day, that's what she told me. She was like, well, why don't you, what about lashes? Do you see, could you do lashes? And automatically the negative thoughts started coming in my head like, well, I can't see, like my vision is like one eye is perfect 2020 and the other eye is just like out of there. I don't have steady hands. Oh my gosh, girl, there's one gnat left. It's cold, it's getting cold, so all these gnats all summer long have been driving me crazy. So if you see a gnat popping up while we're talking, if you see me going like this, it's because there's a gnat in here and it's like the last one. Oh my goodness. But these gnats have been crazy all summer long. So my aunt tells me, she's like, well, what about lashes? Can you see yourself doing lashes? I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to sit in and watch you and maybe go from there. She was like, okay. So I start going in and I start watching her do lashes on her clients. I'm watching everything. I'm watching how the clients come in. I'm watching how she talks to her clients. I'm watching how she performs her services. I'm watching, how the clients interact with her during her service, all the way until their clients are handing her, each client was handing 140, 160, 180, 160, 160, 140. And I was like, dang, like that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for me. I've never got handed nothing like that. I've worked hours and worked 10 hours at a time for $100, and that wasn't even I wouldn't even get that 100. I got like a percentage of that 100. So I would watch and she would have 4 clients and they would each come in and pay her like 180, 160. And they already had lashes on. So it was like, oh, she put some tape down and put some lashes on and talked with them. And my aunt was older, so they were like listening to Dr. Phil and Oprah. and then her client would be like, oh my God, isn't that so crazy? She'd be like, yep, it is. It is crazy. And I'm like, this is so crazy. She's getting paid to put some lashes on. Her clients are happy. They're leaving. They're like, oh my God. They're all, thanks, Tony. Oh my God, you brought me back to life. Thank you so much. I just feel so much better. They handed her cash. They stood in the mirror and brushed their lashes. And they were like, okay, you have me down also for 2 weeks and then 2 more weeks after that, right? As well, because I'm going out of town and I need them for this. And I just was like, wow, like not only did her clients come in, she gave them a good experience. They loved their lashes. They paid her. They tipped her. And then they also said, I need you 2 weeks and I also need you 2 more weeks from now. Like, so in advance as well too, that that you have money lined up, that you have clients booked. It's a pretty good, like, I was like, okay, cool. I did this for about maybe 2 weeks. And it drove my man crazy because he was like, every day he'd pick me up and he would tell me, he'd be like, did you do lashes today? And I would tell him, no, but I swept and I cleaned. And he was like, honey, you gotta do lashes. Like you can't just sit around and not do anything. And I was like, well, I understand that, but I'm still just watching. Like, I don't know. I don't have any clients. I don't know how to get any clients. Like, I don't know. I don't know. And so, the next day I go in and I tell my aunt, I'm like, okay, how can I start? What should I do to start doing what you're doing? And she was like, okay, so my advice to you would be just do free sets. She was like, go post on Facebook that you're going to start doing lashes and do offer free lash sets. And I was like, okay. I was like, but I don't have any product. I don't have any, She was like, it's okay. You can use my glue. You can use my lashes. Get you a couple clients in until you feel comfortable. And once you feel comfortable, then, you can charge a little bit, and then you can pay me back, like, for the products that you're using. You could buy me some glue, you could buy me some lash trays, and I was like, okay, cool. I was like, that sounds good. Like, that sounds doable. Anywhere else, they would have been like, girl, you don't got no clientele. You can't pay your rent. Get out of here. What are you doing? Like, get out of here. Like, go try it at home. And at the time, I also was really upset because I had a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, kind of duplex, and I had a whole space just there, just empty, a whole room available, just empty, just me not utilizing it, me not doing nothing with it. I kept telling my man, like, I'm going to use that room to do lashes. I'm going to use that room to do lashes. I did not have the guts, the courage, the balls, pretty much, to even take that step, because I really should have started that way. I really should have, like, bought a bed, bought a ring light, got me some supplies. Like, I didn't have no credit card, girl. I didn't have no, like, my family, when I left my apartment with my man, my family really did cut me off, and my mom was like, no, you want to be grown, you're going to go do everything on your own. You don't ask us for help, don't ask us for nothing, because we're not going to help you. So I knew I couldn't ask them for, like, money, or, like, to start up this business, especially because I went and told my mom that I was dropping out of college and I had left my job. And my mom was like, oh my God, you're an idiot. Like, you're so dumb. Like, why would you do that? She was like, you had already completed this schoolwork, and you had already done all your prerequisites, and da 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 da. And I was like, yeah, I know, but nursing is not what I saw for myself. It's not what I wanted to do. I'm a girly girl. I like having my nails done, my hair done. I like dressing up. I was like, I don't want to go be a nurse. I don't want to go clean people's butt. I don't want to go and deal with blood, and I don't want to go work no 12-hour, 14-hour shift. Like, count me out. No. So I knew I didn't have that support, which is weird, because my aunt, so they were my stepdad's sisters. So it was really surprised that my stepdad also didn't really kind of give me the green light to go, because I was like, well, they're your sisters and you've seen them have success. I saw the life that they had. I saw the life that my aunts had. They had their clientele, they had their business, they had a house, they had their kids. All their kids had nice cars. All their kids were pretty much like, none of them had to work. Like, they had, like, I was like, this is the life that I want. Like, this is what I want. I want to be able to have my clientele. I want to be able to have my own space. I want to be able to afford, if I have a kid, or when I have a kid, I would like to be able to put them through college. I saw my cousins go through college comfortably in a nice car, and they would just go to school. I would hear them call my aunts while I was starting up my lash business, and they'd be like, oh mom, I need money for gas, and I need money for food. And oh, okay, I'll cash app you, I'll Apple Pay you. Oh, okay, we'll come by the salon and come grab some cash, and da, da, da. And it was just like, no worries, no stress, no nothing. And I was like, wow, like, so the beauty industry really does have, like, you can make money, and you can thrive, and your family can be okay. And, like, I was like, this is what I want. Like, I want the house. I want to be able to have kids comfortably. I want to have my clientele. They had a nice car. They were showing up in a nice car, and they had their nails done, and their hair was done, and they looked so good. And that's what I wanted. I was like, I don't want to be a nurse. I don't want to be in scrubs. I don't want to be in a messy bun with no lashes on, looking crazy, looking tired. Like, that's not what I want. So I was seeing the life that I was supposed to live when it came to me being a nurse. And then I was also seeing the life that I could have with the lashes, with just being in the beauty industry. So that's how I discovered lashes. Was like I said, I got my lashes done since I was 15. And then I actually got to the point where I just straight up asked them, like, can you show me? So I told my aunt, what do I do? How do I get clients in? She was like, you're going to have to take free clients, go on Facebook, say you're doing free lashes. So that's what I did. I went to Facebook and I said, hey y'all, hey y'all, I'm starting to do lash extensions. And which this Instagram that you're on, okay, girl, there's one of my other main accounts that I use. This Instagram was my personal Instagram, but there's another Instagram that I built up to like 10.k followers, and someone hacked that Instagram. But that Instagram, okay, so it goes under the name Trade. I think it's Trade with Kendra or something. They hacked my Instagram. They changed my username, but that account has a lot more of my beginner lash work. So if you have time, like, because I know sometimes people go through this profile, you might scroll all the way down and you just see a lot of personal pictures, not so much like lashes. But the Trade with Kendra profile has all of my beginner lash work. So you can go to that profile, you can just scroll and scroll and scroll, and you will see all my beginner sets, all my beginner work. It was crucial, girl. It was bad. And I was like, I have a license and I should be charging more because I have a license. When I asked my aunt how much I should be charging, she was like, I would do it for free. And then once you get comfortable, you could charge 100 or 120, or, if that's what you want to do. And so I was like, okay. I was like, all right. So that was my journey into how I started doing lashes. I honestly was doing a lot of free sets. And then I also wasn't confident in just my lash. I wasn't confident in my lash skills. So I started doing waxing. I was doing intimate waxing areas. I like Brazilians, and I did that. And then I was also doing facials. That was about it. Facials and waxing and lash lifts. That was about it, because I was like, I'm not going to do hair. I don't want to do like brow waxes or anything like that. Brows are another crucial thing. Like brows and hair, they matter. So if I didn't want to mess someone's brows up, I didn't want to mess someone's hair up, I was like, I'm not even going to put myself in that arena. I'm not going to do it. So I was offering facials, offering waxing as well, and then lashes, because I just wasn't confident in my service. So, oh, well, you should have took a class, or you should have did that. Like, no one told me to take a class. No one told me to, and like I said earlier, ask questions, leave a comment, or send me a DM if you have a question. I will answer back. I say that because I was the girl who asked questions. I was in people's DMs. I was asking other lash artists in the area questions. Even outside of the area where I'm from, I would ask questions and send DMs, and everyone would leave on red, like leave me on red. No one would answer back. So I'd be like, what the heck? I'd be like, dang, like, and that's when I started figuring out, oh, people really don't like sharing their craft. People really don't like sharing with you how they got here, what they did, the steps they took, the products they used, because they think that other people are going to just go and take it from them. Like, girl, whether you show it or the next person shows it, like, someone's going to show it. So you're not going to like you withholding information. Like I said, if you message someone, they leave you on red, it just shows you who they are as a person. It doesn't have nothing to do with you. But that's why I always tell girls, like, leave a comment or leave a DM and I will answer. I will get back to you. Like, I'm a real person. So you don't have to like worry about me not answering back. But that's what stops a lot of people from like asking questions, because people won't even respond back. Hey girl, how are you? I'm glad to see you joining in on the live. But people will answer back. Like, actually, my student here who actually just messaged, she shared with me whenever she was in class that she had sent a DM to someone to ask about how to learn lashes, or like what's the first step she's taken. She was like, yeah, she just like left me on red. And had my student been defeated because she didn't answer her back, she would have never found me. And then so that's why I said, no matter what, whether someone answers or not, like, just keep going. Just keep going until you find the mentor, you find the coach who is actually willing to help you and guide you to where you want to be with whatever it is. Like, that's always what I ask my girls is, what's your goal? What's your goal? What are you looking to do? So that way I can help you out. Like, the more I know your goal with this, the quicker I can help you, because I'm not here to waste your time. Like, that's the thing that I wasted so much time when I first started. And because no one told me to ask for help, no one told me what to do. Hey, Jennifer. Hey, girl. Y'all, my client Jennifer yesterday made the cutest TikTok video of before her lashes and after her lashes, I damn near cried. I was like, oh my God, that is so cute. No one's ever done that for me. So I appreciate that, girl. Um, but yes, okay, so ask questions and try. Don't try, just do. Okay, we don't try over here, we just do. Okay, so ask questions and find people, and whether they're not, they leave you on red. If they leave you on red, they leave you on red. If they answer you back, great. Now you're going to figure out the next step to keep going to where it is that you want to go. All right. So I was doing free lashes. I was doing messed up lashes. My lashes were messed up. Love you. Oh, love you. Love you, love you, love you. Girl, no, I'm really in love with you. Like, I watched that video like 5 times. Not even gonna lie. I was gonna tell you, you need to send it to me so I could repost it to one of my profiles because I was just too cute. Okay, girl. So I'm telling you how I went from free lash sets, from messed up lash sets. Now I got clients on here who are joining in on the live and who are actually making full videos of their experience when it comes to getting lashes with me. So I absolutely love it, girl. And that's what I was leaning into next was was going to talk about how what lashes allowed me to do. So once I took a training, so I free lashes and undercharged for a year. For a year, girl. And that's because I was having to pay $175 a week at the salon that I was at the time. So I had to hustle my butt off. So when it was the early stages before I learned and actually took the time to go and take a training and actually do all of the lash skills, learn the lash skills, I spent that whole year undercharging myself. I was taking like 6 to 8 clients, sometimes even 9 clients a day. And every set was like $40, $60. Fills the same. Like, I was charging the same amount for my full sets as I was for fills. And so I felt like I wasn't getting ahead. I felt like I was really stuck. And it wasn't until I took a lash training, took a 1-day lash training, girl, 1-day lash class, completely changed everything for me. So that's what I tell my girls, my students, is that, hey, if maybe you don't need the license, maybe you don't need to work 3 months with me or 6 months or 12 months. Maybe you just need the 1 day. Maybe you just need a 3-day intensive training. Those 1-day trainings definitely do have the power to change everything in your life. Definitely. Because I took a 1-day training and it completely changed everything for me. My lash skills got better, my confidence got better. And because I had learned something, even though it's just a one key takeaway that I really learned, because the class itself sucked, okay? But the skills that I took away from the class is what really excelled me. So I took that 1-day class, and after that, I was like, okay, I'm addicted to lash education now. So I bought books. I started learning about business as well too, because I was like, okay, I'm a people person, and I've done really well as well too with being able to communicate with clients and talk with people. So because I worked all those jobs, so if you're someone who's been at jobs, girl, you're in the perfect position when it comes to launching a lash business, becoming a lash artist, because they're the number one way I have beat a lot of the girls in the area who do the exact same thing as me is simply care and simply give customer service and a great customer experience. So many lash artists miss the point, especially if you're younger and you're like, oh, I'm just going to go straight into, I mean, of course you could do that. I always tell girls, like, if you're younger and you find a skill like lashes, definitely do it. But when it comes to your people skills and your communication and customer service, you need to get that down, because you could honestly even suck at lashes, but if you give your client a really good experience and you just show that you care and you actually just give a whole vibe, a whole comfortable vibe, you'll be surprised that client will actually come back and allow you to lash her one more time. She'll let you do it one more time because she's like, you know what, the lashes maybe suck, but she was nice, she was kind, her room smelled good, everything was clean, she got me in, and it was a good appointment. Okay, so you can literally beat your competition, so to say, just by giving a good service and just by giving customer service. Okay, so After that lash training, I took more courses, I read more books, I dove in deeper into actually learning my skill, learning my service, and also learning about my clients. That's what really, really helped me grow in my business. And after that, my business expanded. So I had to, while I was working that full year, year and a half in the salon doing lashes, I still had to go get 2 more jobs. Remember, I told you I dropped out of college and I quit the job I was working full time. I had to go get 2 more jobs. So I was working at an all women's retirement home in the morning, which they were retired older women. So I worked in the salon at the retirement home. Luckily, at that salon, we didn't have to pay booth rent. So whatever money we made, we got to keep. So I found that, and I was helping her we were doing like, girl, we were doing toes and nails and really just pretty much like back combing everyone's hair because that was literally all there was to do. So I would do that in the morning from about 8 a.m., 7:30 a.m. to about 11 or 12. And then I would take lash clients from 12 till 4 because after 4:30, I would go and serve at Teddy Jack's at nighttime. I was doing food service again. I was being a server. If I was lucky, I would leave it with at least $100. If it was a good night or a weekend, I could leave with up to $200. And that was great. So I did that for a full year, for almost a full year before my lash business started taking off. My lash business did not start taking off until after I did that lash training, because a lot of the girls were into volume lashes. Classic lashes was the basics of lash extension. So everyone has to learn classic lashes. But it wasn't until I learned the volume that I was also able to start offering services like classic, hybrid, and volume lashes. So I was able to kind of have a little bit more different lash services available, because before I could only really do classic. Even if the girls came in and asked for a hybrid or for volume, I was still stacking classic lashes on top of their natural lashes. I was damaging my clients' natural lashes. My clients were telling me their lashes were falling off. My clients were complaining nonstop. Clients wouldn't even come back. So I technically didn't even have any clients because no one was returning. Everyone was kind of like a customer. It was one time and that was it. But after I took the lash class and then I really started diving in deep into the education of my skill and my customer, that's when my business started to expand and take off. Now, after that happened, everything in my life changed more. So before everything started changing when I became a lash artist, but then when I started understanding my service and I started understanding my customer, then everything expanded even more because I was getting booked out. I was able to move to a whole different city. And so I ended up moving to Fort Worth, but I was still traveling. So I became a travel lash artist. So I would take clients in Fort Worth. I would take clients here because here I had already kind of built up a little bit of a clientele. And then once I had taken that lash training, I started offering more volume and more wispy looks and more hybrid looks. And that's what clients were really after. So once I was able to create that style and give that look, it was over. My clients were like, oh, we're booking you. And so I was getting booked out months at a time, like months in advance. And so I was like, wow, this is really cool. So now I'm going to go to, a new city. I'm going to expand over there as well too. And I did. I was able to move out of town comfortably. I was able to take clients over there. I had really started to enjoy my life. I really we were taking trips. Me and my man were taking trips. We were whenever I moved to Fort Worth, I would have a whole week off. So we would just chill hardcore. Like we would sleep in, we'd get up and go to the grocery store. I wasn't having to worry about how much money I could spend at the grocery store. That had always been a thing. Before it was like, okay, this is our limit. What are the essentials that we need? Because that's all we can get. No, girl, when I was able to start taking those clients in and doing lashes the right way, I had so much money. I did not have to worry about. So we were going to the grocery store and it was $200 plus, and I did not care. I was like, oh, it's cool. We're going to eat everything I'm going to cook and da 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 da. It was like, I was like, man, we were spending our days by the poolside. It was so cool because I would look at my phone and there'd be like tons of text messages from girl, like books, like tons of text messages of clients just booking their appointment. And I was like, man, this feels so good knowing that I can lay here and relax and enjoy this pool. We can have a drink and I'm not worried about, oh, I got to go into work. Oh, I got to make sure that I have to do this many shifts and I have to work this many hours, because if not, then I'm not going to have enough to pay the light bill. I'm not going to have enough to cover rent. And girl, lashes, it took away so many daily stresses and worries that used to just throw off my whole day. I mean, if you can't go to the grocery store and have enough money to buy what you want, it kind of pisses you off. It kind of makes you mad. And then especially if you're like, well, I worked all these hours and I worked all this time to where I don't even have time to enjoy myself. Like, it was before lashes versus after lashes. Like, lashes allowed me to buy groceries comfortably. Lashes allowed me to pay my rent comfortably. Lashes allowed me to heck, tell my man, like, if you want to like find a different journey than what you're doing as well too, you could do that. Like, you don't need to work a job right now. Like, if you don't want to work a job because a job's just going to waste your time anyways, you don't have to. So find something that you want to do as well too, because I can invest. We got some money. So find what you want to do as well too. Like, lashes allowed my man to find things like Airbnb and other sources that he was like, oh yeah, I want to try this and I want to try that. And I was like, oh yeah, heck yeah, we could do that. Let's take this money and make more money and grow more money. Like, I couldn't do that before lashes. Before lashes, I went to work, I worked for the paycheck. That paycheck was already spent. Before it ever even touched my hands, that paycheck was gone. So it was never like, oh, I could use this paycheck to invest in a business or find something that's gonna, a skill that's gonna help me make more money. Like, no, that wasn't no, I couldn't do that. But when it came to lashes allowed me to also invest in my man and help him find something that he wanted to do as well too. I also, like, lashes allowed me to, I redid my stepdad's Tahoe. I redid his whole truck, like from inside, like put a new engine in it, got new tires on it, restored the paint, like did the full nine and gave it back to my stepdad. And that's because before he gave it to me, it was a piece of crap. After he gave it to me, I had lash money. So instead of going and buying me a new car, I was like, well, I'm just going to put it back in this vehicle. And then once I'm ready to get a new car, then I'll just give it back to him. And then I'll just go and buy me a new car. And so I gave my stepdad back a truck that he loved that truck. He had that truck since him and my mom had got together. That was his pride and joy, that truck. So I gave it back to my stepdad fully loaded, like fully workable, everything. Can't say the same for my brother and sister because they would give their cars back like broken. But no, lashes allowed me to pretty much give my dad a whole new renovated Tahoe. Lashes allowed me to put my mom in an apartment. Lashes allowed me to pay for my brother and sister. Whenever my brother and sister needed money, I could give it to them. I didn't have to worry or be like, oh, well, this 20 I could use this 20 for this, or I could use, oh, you need $40. Well, shoot, I need 40, like, if my brother and sister texted me and asked for something, or there would be times where I would even just cash app them $20, cash app them 50, cash app them 40, because I was making so much money. I've been making so much money off lashes that I could take care of my people comfortably. I was able to just do so much with lashes. Like I said, I was able to travel. I was able to invest in other businesses. I was able to take care of my family. I was able to take care of myself. Girl, I cannot tell you how long I went without nails and I never went without lashes. I would always try to make lashes a thing, but also because my aunt she did lashes. So she would do my lashes and she would let me pay her every now and again. Sometimes she wouldn't even charge me. So it was like, oh, okay. But I couldn't get my nails done. I couldn't buy a coffee. Before lashes, I couldn't go for a walk in the morning because I would work all day, study all night, fall asleep, and just do it all over again. Before lashes, I always knew exactly what my day was going to look like. With lashes, no 2 days are ever the same. Like, it's always different. It's always different. And I love that because I love variety. I really don't like having the same day over and over and over and over again. So lashes allowed me to completely live a life of freedom, and I could make my schedule how I wanted. I could sleep in, I could wake up early. It's all up to me. And also, too, what lashes allowed me to do is it allowed me to see that there was no cap on my income. I could make however much I wanted to make with lashes. So if I decided, you know what, tomorrow I really want to make $900, I could do that. I could do that. I could say, okay, I'm going to take, these two volume sets. That's 200. That's 400. I'm going to take these couple of fills, and I could, like, there was no cap on my income. There was no cap on how much I could make. And also too, because everyone had kind of seen how my life went from like really bleak to like really like, they're all, dang girl, how you doing that? How you doing? I had girls start asking me, how can you show me how? Can you show me how to do lashes? Can you show me how to get clientele? Can you show me how to, set up the space just like yours? Can you show me how? They're like, because I really like it, and I would love to have like what you have. That's what I want. And I was like, yes, girl, yes. Lashes allowed me to share my skill with all sort of other women, all kinds of other women. I've helped college girls, I've helped stay-at-home moms, I've helped girls who are nurses, I've helped dancers, I've helped older women. I mean, there's ladies who are as old as 65, 70 who have came and taken classes and worked with me, and they offer lashes too. And they're like, oh, all my friends love it. And they're like, oh, it's just so nice to be able to make some money whenever I want. Like, lashes has allowed me to live a life full of freedom and peace. Like I said, that peace that you get from not having to worry about, can I pay this bill? Can I go get groceries comfortably? Can I put gas in my car comfortably? We used to be on a gas limit. Like, we used to be like, oh, all we have is $15 for gas. And we knew, okay, well, where do you need to go? Because this 15 can only take us so far. Girl, to living a life of confinement, feeling like you don't have enough, feeling like there's never enough, no matter how much you're working, to just having like, yeah, we got it. Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. Because, oh yeah, because I'm booked out for 2 months in advance. I know exactly how much money. I know I'm booked out for two months in advance. I know how much I'm gonna make. My clients aren't leaving me. They're not going nowhere. Like, yeah, lashes allowed me to have confidence and security and financial independence. Nothing else has given me that. I definitely didn't expect that lashes was going to be the thing that did that for me. I did it. If I had known that lashes was going to be the thing that did that for me, I would have not spent 4 years in college chasing a degree that I know I didn't want from the beginning. I would not have spent all my time and all my energy at all these jobs who saw me as just another employee. I would not have, if I had known that lashes was going to change my life the way it did and open up these doors for me that I never expected ever in my life, I would have done it sooner. So that's what I really wanted to share with you, girl, was how my journey got into lashes. And I know it's kind of all over the place, but we're girls, it's always like that. Even when I talk to my students, it's, oh, well, this is why before, this is what I'm doing right now. And this is where I want to be with lashes. So if anything of my story or my journey, you have more questions, or maybe you're in that same place right now as well too, girl, send me a DM or leave a comment on here and I will help you out. I will also share with you your next steps into getting where you want to go, having the outcome that you want. And I want to leave you with this. What kind of day do you want? What is your ideal day? How do you see your day going? Because I can tell you that before lashes, like I said, it was sleep, it was work, study, sleep, repeat. Work, study, sleep, repeat. After becoming a lash artist, I wake up in the morning with so much gratitude in my heart. I'm able to go for a walk. I'm able to breathe in the morning. I'm not rushing to a job. I'm not rushing to go somewhere. I'm able to slowly wake up. I'm able to meditate and do gratitude in my living room in the peace and quiet. I'm not rushing to a job. My partner's not rushing to a job. I can cuddle with my little toy poodle for an hour, cuddle with my man and my toy poodle for an hour before I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm going to go for a walk because I have a couple clients later. I'm going to make $500 plus, not even including what I make with my education and with my online students. Like, this is just lashes, nothing else. This whole 8 years I have been doing lashes, I have not done anything else. I don't do brows, I don't do hair, I don't do waxing, I don't do facials, I don't do any of that. I just do lashes. Lash extensions has completely allowed me to live the life that I want to live. And that's what I want to show every girl that has this idea of becoming a lash artist and launching their lash business. You have a right to see that idea through. And I would love to help you figure out the exact steps that you need to take to have the desired outcome with your lash business. Because I know if you're anything like me, my desire was to have the lash room how I wanted. Just going to show you. Okay. The lash room how I wanted. Lash room of my dreams. Okay. Able to have a lash room in my own private space with clientele that absolutely adores me, that I absolutely love, making way more money than I used to ever make before, and being able to just do whatever I want as a girl world, pink collar job. This is absolutely everything that I wish my 18-year-old self had. I wish my 17-year-old self had this. But I had to go through so much to figure all of this out. So instead of you having to do that as well too, girl, like I said, drop a comment or DM me. Let me know where you're at. Let me know what your goals are. And I will literally walk you to your first client. I will walk you to your private lash suite. I will walk you to your first $1,000 day. That is my specialty. Okay, because I've had it. It feels so good. And I want every girl who wants to explore lashes or wants to even explore launching their lash business further, because maybe you already are a lash artist, but you're stuck and you're confused on how can I make more? How can I expand? I would love to help you figure that out as well too. I would love to help you get everything that it is that you want out of your lash business. Okay, girl? So I appreciate you for joining in on my live today with the real story of how lashes changed my life. And if you have any questions or any comments, anything like that, please make sure leave a comment below or send me a DM. I would be more than happy to talk about your journey and how things are unfolding for you and what are the next steps that you can take to further this just a little bit more. Okay, so have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you later.